So, good day everyone. Today I'm going to talk about inflation and its types. Inflation is a term that we heard a lot of in news and economic discussions. It refers to a general increase in prices and a decrease in purchasing power. Inflation can have a significant impact on economy and individual as a whole. So as you can see here, these are the factors which affect the inflation, which are prices and purchasing power of money. The inflation which impacts in both as individuals as well as in economy. So these are all the inflation types which we have to look into and will take into deep dive. So we have two different types. The first one is demandable inflation. So demandable inflation is basically occurs when there is an increase in demand for goods and services, but the supply of those goods and services remains constant. This results in an increase in the price of the goods and the services as consumers are willing to pay more for them due to the increase in demand. So, a common example for demandable inflation is when there is a sudden increase in consumer spending, which can occur during holiday season or during a period of economic growth. So, secondly, we have a cost push inflation. As you can see in the right side photo, the cost in push inflation having five factors, which are higher direct taxes, rising oil prices, rising nominal wages, devaluation rising import prices, and rising foods and energy prices. What exactly cost push information inflation occurs when there is a rise in the cost of production, which results in an increase in the price of final goods and services. This can happen due to various factors such as you can see, increase in the cost of raw materials or labor, or increase in the taxes. So, for instance, an increase in the oil prices would result in an increase in transportation cost, which would increase the cost of goods and services that are transported, which results in increase in taxes. So, the inflation are measured in two different indexes. The first one is consumer price index. In consumer price index, which having several factors such as housing, apparel, transportation, food, beverages, medical care, recreation, other goods and services, and education and communication. So it is essentially to note that inflation can be measured using various indexes such as consumer price index, which is also known as CPI. The CPI can be calculated using dividing the current product price total divided by the past price total. So the CPI measures the average change in price of goods and services purchased by households. And the second one is producer price indexes, which is also known as PPI, which can be calculated by dividing current prices which are given by seller by their price in some base year multiplied by 100. The PPI measures the average change in price of goods and services purchased by the businesses. So inflation can have a larger impact. So inflation can have both positive as well as negative impacts on the economy. For instance, a moderate level of inflation can encourage people to spend and invest their money rather than keeping it in cash. On the other hand, high level of inflation can cause uncertainty and discourage investment, which leads to slowdown in economic growth. Additionally, inflation can negatively impact those on fixed incomes, such as retirees or those with saving accounts. In conclusion, inflation is an essential economic concept that affects everyone's life. Understanding the different type of inflations, their causes and their effects is critical in making informed decisions about personal finance and policy decisions at the national level. Thank you for listening and I hope you found this presentation informative. I am Hari Balaji. Thank you.